Hey, what's up, team? Decided to do a watch list video so you guys could see my beautiful face instead of going live. We are in a hot market right now, guys. I need all eyes on the market for tomorrow. There's just so many good setups, and I can't possibly catch everything. So I'm doing this watch list video. I'm going to go over a few tickers, and hopefully, you guys will set these alerts and be able to catch these plays intraday and call them out in chat as they happen. The first one that we're going to talk about is /ES. We're going to talk about the overall market and where we're at. It's been pushing up. We hit 3,300 today, right at the end of day. This rally from the bottom, unbelievable. Can't even believe that happened. All the way up, made a brand new high, pushed up to the resistance point at 3,300, and that is where we are currently. Tomorrow's session, you see this resistance line here from the past two trading days, right around 32.95. If we break over 3,300 and hold, I am bullish for tomorrow's session. However, understanding that those whole numbers act as natural areas of support and resistance within the market, I wouldn't be surprised to see a rejection here, at least initially, right? Maybe a little pullback action down to 32.75 or so, and then a breakout afterwards if we continue in the upward direction. So 3,300 is going to be the level to watch. Of course, we won't know anything about where we're going to head into tomorrow's session until pre-market. So as of now, just hang tight, and I'm going to go over a few setups. A lot of these are going to probably depend on if the market is bullish tomorrow or not, right? So keeping an eye on the overall market sentiment is going to be paramount going into tomorrow's session. Spotify, SPOT, is going to be the first one on our watch list. It broke some key support today. You see it's trading down. All the indicators are pointing down. There's not a ton of support here below this 250 mark down to about, probably 240. I would split the difference and maybe say 245 would be price target 1. And then 240 being price target 2. It has room to come down. In a red market, I think that this definitely will probably be like one of the #1 plays I'm watching. So let's go to the 5-day, 5-minute chart time frame. You see the gap down from earnings. It's been chopping around, making these lower highs and being compressed into a single point of support. This is a descending triangle. Patterns can form over multiple days. So the idea here, you see it's actually trading down at 249 here after hours. The idea is that below this point here, it should just break down and continue. That's what we're looking for. So we're looking for a short below either pre-market lows or a short below 250, depending on where it opens up at. That's going to be our first watch list ticker going into tomorrow. I'm excited about trading this one and shorting it. If the market's red, if it rejects off 3,300, I think this presents a lot of profit margin here to the bottom side, provided that there's no support, well, barely any support here below this 250 mark. So chance for a big drop here. We'll keep it on watch. 250 is the mark to keep an eye on. The second one for our watch list tomorrow is Netflix. So this setup looks great. We talked about this. It's holding this trend line here, holding the 50 EMA as a support. Today we got that pop up and over that whole number 500 for a run up to about 510. So from here you see the resistance point, and then it kind of flipped to support at 510. It's been valid before, and that's going to extend all the way out to where we're trading at now. So over 510, we're looking at a continuation play, right? So taking it long over the high here at 510 or the pre-market high if the market gaps up. And I think it's safe to say the price target will be 520. But just like with Spotify, we're going to split the difference here and say 515 price target 1, 520 being price target 2. A lot of these plays that I'm about to review are going to be continuation plays because we're in a market where it's continuously making new highs. So with that in mind, Nvidia is going to be the third one on watch. You can substitute this trade or this ticker for AMD. they kind of move pretty similarly. AMD is really hot right now. Doesn't care about these gap ups. Doesn't care about the RSI. This thing is running. So with AMD and NVIDIA both, we're looking for a continuation play over the highs. So for AMD, it'll be over 86. For NVIDIA, it will probably be over 450. Now, personally, I like NVIDIA better, just because, you know, the RSI isn't as hot, and it's just now breaking out of this this triangle pattern here on the daily chart, right? So over 4, and it hasn't had earnings yet, whereas AMD has. So we've seen a lot of tickers kind of run up in anticipation of earnings, because AMD beat NVIDIA is moving up right now with, you know, kind of with that and being in the same sector. So we're watching for this to continue up and over the 450 mark. Same with AMD. The only thing is that AMD is probably more popular. It's cheaper, right? And more traders can afford the contracts for it. So it's probably going to move more. Just keep an eye on both. So 86 and 450 are the levels to watch for both of those. The third one on the watch list for tomorrow, I'm not going to include both of those. I'll, you know, depending on pre-market movement, I'll substitute one. I'll put the other one as a side chart. BABA, B-A-B-A. So this one has, it's choppy. It's probably more of a day trade than a scalping ticker. It just trades super choppy intraday, and you see it has this like early pre-market, or not pre-market, early morning volume, and then it just dies off. So I like the setup on the daily chart, because what we have here is kind of like a bull pennant pattern forming, but it's closed over this resistance point. So if I draw a line across those 2 points, right, we're up and over that point. I think this probably has room to 265, maybe up to test these highs at 268. But 265 would be my immediate watch again, or my immediate price target. The long trigger for this will be right over 263. So we're just looking at taking it long over the top side here as a continuation. Those will be the main ones for the watch list. Real quick, real easy, simple. You know, there's not a reason to include a ton of tickers, but the setups are there. They're all over the place, and we don't know what's going to run and what's not going to run. Oh, excuse me, I forgot one. Tilray, T-L-R-Y. All right, so this one, again, we see it kind of popping up here in anticipation of earnings. It's over the 50 EMA. It's breaking this downward trend line. If it breaks over 9, I wouldn't be surprised to see this running to 10. You know, it's another one that's super cheap, and because it's super cheap, and it's a pot stock, right? Millennials love that kind of thing. These Robinhood traders and everybody's probably gonna hype it up. So over 9, I think it definitely has potential to run to 10. I would probably be looking to take profits halfway though, 950 or so. Big massive day, big volume here, pushing it up, breaking the trend line. And if we, you know, drew a line across that 9 level of resistance, you see where these candles are, or these wicks are kind of pulling back to. These candles, they're closing below that point. The next level above really is this 10 mark. We see a lot of kind of price action right around that point. So that's it for the main watch list. Okay, we're going to talk about BABA, SPOT, either NVIDIA or Spotify, Netflix, and Tilray, T-L-R-Y. So 5 on the watch list for tomorrow. As for side charts, we have quite a few to look at. Shopify is one that we've talked about. It's building up to breaking out and testing these highs. It's not quite there yet, so you see the consolidation. Over 1090, I have an alert set that's going to put it on radar. Over 1100 is going to put us on radar, but over 1110, right? 1110. Over that mark, we're going to be into you know, all-time high territory. This is printing. That was printed pre-market. So just keep an eye on it. You know, over 1090, it's probably playable up to that price point, but definitely over 1110. You know, we should really look at possibly playing this long to the top side. So just keep alerts set and call it out as it happens. You know, retail's been hot, so that's your Costco breaking out here. All right, you see that resistance at 330 on the daily. This was a $9 run to the top side. Walmart breaking out here. Target breaking out into all-time highs. Just be careful of this RSI. So something like Target, you know, it's not normally a big mover, but because it is into all-time highs, we should have alerts set over the high, right? So over 131, just as a potential player. Keep an eye on that RSI though. That's one thing to watch out for. Same with Costco. I mean, I want to put this on the main watch list, but because it ran up so much today, you know, does it have juice to keep going? Maybe, but maybe not. So we'll see. So we're just going to keep alerts set right over the highs for each one of these. Walmart, I'm not super interested in playing this. I still see a lot of overhead resistance. So 134 is where I have my alerts set for that. Microsoft. All right, so I like this. I like the news. I like the fact that it pulled back today and tested 210, which is the top side of this gap, as a support, and kind of held. Over 214, I think it's possible to play it up to these highs at or around 217 or 218. Ultimately, we want to see it back over the highs though, right? So over 218 would be the mark. I have an alert set at 214 though, just in case. On the flip side of that, if the market's red, if everything's red, below 210 will be our short trigger, right? Because then we're looking at a play into the gap. So straddle alert set at 214 and 210 for Microsoft. ZM. This was one that was on the watch list today. Unfortunately, you know, it did hold the support here at 262, but it didn't make a new high at or around 271 and 270. So keep it on your side chart watch for now. It is still valid. It's still holding. It may need another day to consolidate before it continues up, but over 271 is ultimately the mark that we're watching. The last one that I want to talk about is going to be, what was it? INTC. There we go. So INTC, yeah, this one, it's unfortunate because we had this on the watch list today, and it looked like it was ready to make we call it a dead cat bounce, right? When something on the daily chart has just been so overextended. Look at this RSI. We're looking for that one-day bounce. We got that bounce today. It just wasn't a clean bounce, right? So the price action kind of moved up pre-market. Initially, right at open, pushed up. Then we had like this double top pattern, and it didn't do a whole lot. It kind of chopped around until the end of the day, and then it decided to run. So right over 49.20 will be our mark to possibly take that long, just for a continuation play up to the top side here. See if this will recover a little bit. Just as a side chart watch though, not expecting a ton of action out of this, provided that today's movement was choppy. I think there are better setups probably to look at taking long, especially if something like Netflix or Nvidia are running, or AMD. You probably want to play those first because they have the cleaner price action. More eyes would be on those tickers than something that is trading way down here. That's it, guys. That's all that I have for the watch list for tomorrow. I hope it helped you out some. If it did, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I do these videos just about every week, so you'll get notified when new videos come out. Thank you all, and I'll see you in chat.